What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. It's the end of June, which meant we have a brand new set of reveals over on WWE.com. So you can see the latest WWE action figures from Mattel. Not a lot of newer reveals that we hadn't seen, or at least newer coming. For the most part, this is really basic heavy, and I'm just not a fan of what they've done with the basics line. They've got rid of some of the useful articulation. The head sculpts we eventually see in Elite, so it's not like, oh, I need to get this figure just so I can cobble parts together from them. Now it's kind of worthless, but there were some cool reveals over on WWE.com with figures that I was actually looking forward to. So let's break those down, starting off with the one and only Rob Van Dam. This is him from his one night stand match against John Cena, where he finally takes the title after all those years of the invasion. Coming oh so close, he finally gets the title, the big win. And Paulie likes this one. It spins. So we got the spinner belt here, and you see this head sculpt. I think this is a really good one for him. Got a thumbs up. So of course that's Rob Van Dam. I love the detail in the singlet. It's really not his most complex attire. I mean, some of his are just outrageous, but this one is a really sleek looking setup. Got that airbrush look to it, and I think Mattel did a really nice job implementing that in figure form. Here's my one problem with this RVD figure. You see here, so many of the Ultimate Edition figures are loaded with accessories. I mean, they've got their ring jackets, their ring robes, t-shirts galore, 3 or 4 different head sculpts, maybe not 4, but 3 head sculpts. There's a lot in it. And Rob admittedly does not have a lot of obvious accessory options. We got his heads, we got 2 different head sculpts. We got the ponytail flying in midair, got the 2 thumbs. That's kind of what we need. I would have thought, if nothing else, they would have added some fists in there. I mean, we got the clutching hands for that chair. That's great. But, I mean, he just needs some straight up punching hands, too. So that's something they could have added. I think this would have been a good opportunity to throw in some signs, like, especially if RBD or Cena wins, we riot. That would have been a great accessory to throw in with this figure, because that was such an iconic sign at One Night Stand. And that would have been a perfect inclusion. But what we got here is not something that, it's not that packed out Rob Van Dam Ultimate Edition experience that I think we really needed to have to make for a worthwhile figure. And of course, I'm not a fan of these leg sleeves. They need to retire these ASAP, because they've been overused to the point where we're screaming, begging, demanding, until please stop using these. They make it so hard to pose the figures, and we still keep seeing figures coming with them. Outside of that, though, this is a package look, and again, you can kind of see Rob is not really coming through with a lot of stuff compared to other Ultimate Edition figures. And this is the back of his singlet. I think this is a really cool picture. See that ponytail in mid-flight, but you can see all that great detail there, the lightning coming to the yin and the yang. I think that's really great. Really nice job on the singlet. So that's really good. I'd like to see that detail with your Ultimate Edition figures. This is another great head sculpt, smiling, young, happy Rob Van Dam. I really like that. Of course, we got the chair to throw at somebody, let them catch it, and then he comes through, hitting them in the face. And he's really going to benefit from these butterfly shoulders, especially when you do that 5-star frog splash. So I like to see that with him. But again, these leg sleeves are going to be such a pain, and I wish they did not include them. Next up is Brock Lesnar. This is from his early days when he started terrorizing SmackDown and became the big champ over there. The era of the SmackDown 6, one of the best times to be a SmackDown fan. And I think this head might be a little bit too small, but other than that, I think this figure is pretty good. Looks like they came up with a new torso mold for Brock, which is great. I'm not sure if this is the same one they've used before with the other figures, but I feel like this one looks a little bit different. And got that wild, crazy expression. This is like right before he gets F5 on somebody. And I think this is a great mold for him. Lots of good detail on the body sculpt. And he has a little bit more accessories. So he actually does have 3 head sculpts, 3 additional ones. That's good. He's got the t-shirt, which he will wear a lot during that time period, different hands, and he's got fists. He's got the title. I guess this is just a regular one, not the special undisputed or whatever. This is him with the world title, and all that great back tattoo detail. That was a tongue twister for whatever reason. And now he's really good So you can see all that good stuff that's coming with Brock, and he is also going to benefit from those butterfly shoulders to do an even better, more effective looking F5 on your shelves. I can't wait to see him and get him in my collection. So these two I'm for sure getting, but I really wish they were better value in terms of what they came with. Brock's okay, but I think Rob Van Dam really could use some more stuff. So then, oh, there's one more shot here. Thought this was a cool picture. Just show what young Brock looks like on the back of the package. Crazy expression. So he's part of the Ruthless Aggression Ultimate Edition series. This is wave 2. So we got Rob Van Dam, we got Brock Lesnar. I'm blanking on the first series, but this is what we got for these guys. Oh, I think it's the first set is Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. So these are the next ones for it. So then there were a few more reveals that I thought were really great. First up, Captain Lou Albano, and we got him kind of a cartoonish superstar sculpt. This is not an elite figure, so this is kind of what you expect. I love this t-shirt. It's very reminiscent of the old school one, and I just love that design. I thought that was so cool. He's got a lot of accessories that look like they would come off. So when we get the elite version of him, maybe the ultimate edition, because he seems like somebody that would make sense in the Coliseum collection. So if we don't like the attire that he's rocking, we can actually just take these parts off for the most part and slap them on to that figure. And I love that he comes with a gold record, and that's when Roddy Piper cracks this over his head. I think that might need to be a bit bigger scale, but that's really great to actually see it. It's too bad you can see the cracks in the album beforehand, but I like the effort that they threw that in there. It's a nice inclusion. Here's the back here, and that's really great detailing on that t-shirt. I feel like the Superstars line really gets some great accessories with their figures, and they really, really do them up. Next up, the Survivor Series 90 2-pack, the Gobbledygooker and the Undertaker. And I'm not so upset about the lack of accessories here because we got two different head sculpts. We got the classic one, then we got the more modern version. And this sculpt requires a lot of detail. They're not going to ever use this sculpt again, clearly. And we got different hand sculpts, so that's cool. And he also comes with an egg. So, I mean, that's enough of an accessory for the Gobbledygooker. I mean, they put a lot of work in this character, and that's something that you would just not expect. And I love this. This is a nice little addition here that they actually threw in the Build-A-Figure, Mean Gene Okerlund, to simulate that moment from Survivor Series 90 when they're dancing around. Just a wacky deal. His birthplace, he's from a giant egg. His finisher is a gobble, and his career highlights a 24/7 champ. And I just love that they actually threw all that in and had so much fun with it. That's cool. The next one in this 2-pack, of course, is the Undertaker. He's way too tan. I don't know what the deal is here. I don't know if I can fix that, but that's what we got with Undertaker. Cloth trench coat, that's a nice touch. Removable tie, the hat. I love this crazy head sculpt. That looks great for him. And black gloves to match his attire from Survivor Series 90. And then we got him coming to the ring with Brother Love. I love both of these little touches, adding other figures that make sense for these characters. So that's cool. You can see here, he's very pale and has a lot redder hair than what we got with this figure. But I guess we can complain about anything. But that's a pretty decent looking figure. And I'm glad that they have Brother Love here with him as well. That's a nice touch. Also, and then we got a few new reveals in terms of the Legends line. Now, this I'm kind of happy about for people who want it, but I got that Ultimate Edition ring, the new generation that carries over, that works just fine for the Hulkamania era as well. But we got a classic cage, and this is really happily scaled for the Elite line, probably better scale for basic figures. You can see how low it is from the cage to the mat, so it's not going to be something where you put your Andre the Giant figure and make it look good, because you can see how tall Andre is. This is an Ultimate Edition 17 Andre the Giant. He is basically going to be the same height as the ring at this point. He's just a few feet off from the floor, so he's not going to look great in there. But see, Legends 20 Mr. Perfect versus, I assume that's the Ultimate Edition Legends Bret Hitman Hart. So that's kind of cool to see those guys. But this is a cage. Just throw it on your basic ring, and you got that, which might work easier for people doing figure photography. Need a blue steel cage. I'm hoping eventually we'll see one for the Ultimate Edition scale ring. And this is Ultimate Edition 104. Got to see more glamour photos of these guys. I don't know the official source of these, but I'm assuming these are from WWE.com. We're going to get them at some point from Mattel, posted really soon. Solo Sikoa, he's still rocking that way too small torso. And that's something that Steve aka Action Figure Attack, said they are going to fix with his next release. It's just too bad with this one. He's got the cruiserweight torso. It just didn't make a lot of sense. Braun Breaker rocking his dad's number singlet attire. That's cool. Nice touch there. Drew McIntyre. He has one of the best head sculpts they've ever done. Got the big sword. He's got his skirt. A new AJ Styles. Looks like he's got a different torso as well. It looks like he's got giant hands though. And then Dakota Kai. Not quite loving that head sculpt, but I like the fact that they finally have a new one of her into the line. And then we got a single better version of Braun Breaker. I don't know if this is going to work as well as I was hoping for Rick Steiner custom for him in his classic attire because of those black underpant deals that he's got, those smaller tights or shorts, compression shorts that he's rocking there. But maybe I can figure out a fix for that. He comes with the NXT title and 2 fists. So again, these accessories are starting to feel a little bit lax in terms of what these figures are coming with. Now, onto the Wrestle Shop figure reveals at W Figure Maniac provided some of these photos. There's some that I don't know the source of, so if you guys do, let me know. But what we're getting from Mattel are more Lost Legends, another Greatest Hits Legends line, which is great because they're putting these figures back out there for everyone who missed them. You see in the background ECW style Terry Funk, which could also work just fine for an NWA 1989 view with Ric Flair Sting look. That's cool. Really good to see him back in there. Honky Tonk Man in his Elvis attire. Love that. Too bad he doesn't come with the belt yet, but these are just straight up re-releases, so no real changes from them. Bruno Sammartino come with the podium so you can have him for your Hall of Fame speeches. Ultimate Warrior from 1991, Royal Rumble, still going with the same old head sculpt, and I wish they'd gone with more thicker hair for him for that time period because it was wilder in 91. And you can also see they've updated the title to be more accurate for 91's Royal Rumble, where he drops the belt to Sergeant Slaughter. Spoiler for everyone who hasn't seen that yet, but that's a nice touch. And then we get another shot, another crack for everybody who missed out on British Bulldog from his glory days with the Hart Foundation. And I like this. I think this head sculpt's a little bit better from the original one, so maybe they're tweaking, doing the True Effects pieces on those head sculpts. So maybe there's an improvement on that front. But I'm really glad to see him. Double jointed elbows. He might be a figure that I pick up just because I really love this attire for him. And this head sculpt looks better, and double jointed elbows are definitely an improvement. Then here's another shot of him just to show you another look at him. Bruno looks like he might be in green, and I thought he was wearing blue tights, so maybe they've added that as a fix as well, or just change it up a little bit to give a little incentive for people to pick up 2 versions. I wouldn't mind grabbing another version of Bruno. But this head sculpt on Bulldog definitely looks better than the one that we got before, so that's really cool to see. I think it might be in for upgrade with him. Then we have another lineup of figures, and you just can't see it, but it's the They Live version of Roddy Piper. Another figure, if you want to get some jeans, you can rock in there. Then we got the Natural Disasters back in rotation, which is great because those are really good figures. So it's nice to see everybody can get another crack at them. Shield Seth Rollins, a figure I need because my original one, I don't love the articulation. This one's going to have double jointed elbows and be a lot easier to pose and maneuver. Then we got Bray Wyatt as the Eater of Worlds. That's cool. Brutus Beefcake back in there. I wish they had gone with the blue chase version because I thought this yellow striped one was pretty easy to find, but the blue chase was really hard to track down. Then we've got another wave, and this is the 2 Build-A-Figures. This is British Bulldog when he returns to the WWF, WWE 1999, and he's fighting along against Triple H, Rikishi, Stone Cold, The Rock, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, all those crew, and he eventually started leading the Mean Street Posse, but let's not get into all that. This is cool to see him back in rotation with this figure. He's a Build-A-Figure, and it's nice to see wrestlers getting in there as opposed to managers that use the same buck that doesn't always work for him. Then we got Virgil, and that's really cool to see him in his wrestling attire. He's got the little fringes on his boots. That's a nice touch, too. I wouldn't be upset if we got wrestler Virgil with his shorts as well. Then there's another Batista coming. Got Phoenix. She looks really good with the big mohawk. Then we got Ridge Holland. His jacket looks really great. Nice to see him join the line, too. He's got his little sticks. We got them. And this is another pick from W Figure Maniac. Another better shot of these guys. I really like that head sculpt on Virgil. I've been watching Old Memphis with him as Soul Train Jones. So it's fun to see him with the candy stripe attire. Bulldog looks sufficiently pissed off. really good figure on him, so he can complete that 99 roster and do the 6-pack challenge, because I think he was the last holdout from that. So we finally get him now. And Ridge's head sculpt looks really good. See another shot of that Beth Phoenix. Really nice looking figures. So some really cool reveals. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of those and getting them. Maybe not at full price, but I will be getting for sure that Rob Van Dam, the Brock Lesnar, and all those figures that incorporate the Build-A figures with British Bulldog and Virgil. And I'll probably get that re-release of British Bulldog. Let me know which figures you were excited about seeing and which ones you're looking forward to picking up with Elite 104. As always, thank you so much for watching. This episode of the House Figure Files has been filed.